How you doing, sports fans? This is Russ Hodges, ready to bring you another one of our great Wednesday night Pabst Blue Ribbon fight shows. And tonight it's the highlight rounds of that terrific battle out in Chicago last February between Sugar Ray Robinson and Jake LaMotta. And for our guest commentator tonight, you know they overuse that expression colorful to some extent. They call this guy colorful and that guy colorful. But if Rocky Graziano isn't colorful, I've never seen anybody that could justify that adjective. Let's bring in the former middleweight champion, Rocky Graziano. How you doing, Rocky?
Pretty good, Russ. Thank you very much.
And I called you the former middleweight champion. Do you think I'll be calling you the former middleweight champion long?
I hope so, Russ.
And then you'll be maybe the middleweight champ again someday.
I hope so.
Well, Rock, sit down, will you? You know, I think you saw this fight on TV, didn't you? The one we're going to do?
That's right.
And what did you think of it?
I thought it was a very, very nice fight. A very good, strong, tough fight.
And I'm sure that you're going to get a kick out of seeing it again to realize how both men can deal out so much punishment over that period of time.
That's right.
Incidentally, speaking of middleweight, you look like you're almost in fighting shape today, Rocky.
Well, I weigh about 163 pounds now. I've been boxing every other week.
In other words, once around the hall and you'd be ready.
That's right.
You got yourself a fight coming up September the 19th, isn't it?
That's right.
Out in Detroit.
Detroit, I'm fighting Tony Gennaro.
And Pabst Blue Ribbon's going to be right there to bring that to everybody, and we're going to be right in your corner that night. Have you ever been in the ring with a man that has a style similar to Robinson's? Granted that Sugar Ray is in a class almost by himself in boxing. Have you ever been in there with a style resembling his, a fellow that could hit and run with you and then still nail you with that right hand when you move in on him?
I can't think of anybody that good.
There's just been nobody that good for quite a while. Huh?
That's right.
Well, incidentally, have you ever been in the ring against Tony Gennaro?
I boxed him twice.
Boxed him twice, and that's going to be the third time out in Detroit.
The third time. They were all close fights. The first fight was a draw. But the second fight, I beat him in a split decision. This will be the third fight. I hope to knock him out.
Well, anytime you get boys that are that evenly matched, that should be a real honey, because we've seen Tony many a time, and he gives you all that you can bargain for whenever you're in there with him. Say, here's a guy I want you to meet, Rocky. I think maybe you've met him. This is the manager of the great Sugar Ray Robinson, George Gainford.
Hi, Rocky. Hello, Joe.
Say, George, it's wonderful to see you here in our studio tonight, particularly since we're showing this great film of Sugar Ray's. I'd like for your comment. How does this stack up, in your estimation, with the greatest battles that Sugar Ray's ever had?
Well, this is definitely one of his greatest battles.
You think it has to be right up there in the top drawer?
Sure. LaMotta was a great champion.
Now, about that recent European trip that Sugar Ray took, I understand that he returned with more popularity than he's ever had before.
Well, that's the way of the public. He's more popular today than he ever was in his lifetime.
Well, how did he feel about the tremendous reception that he got here in New York City?
Well, believe it or not, for the first time I've seen Robinson cried. He never cried when he lost the championship. The reception he received here in New York, when the mayor and the rest of the people cheered him so much, he cried because he felt, as returning as not as champion,
and to still get that
kind of reception, it touched his heart.
Made him realize what a great country and what a great city we got here in New York.
It certainly is.
Say, incidentally, Rocky, I understand you fellas might be doing some business after a while. I mean, maybe if Robbie comes back and gets that championship from Turpin, do you want to tell George how you're going to fight his guy?
No, I wouldn't tell him.
Well, it means an awful lot to have a great manager, and George has certainly done a terrific amount of good for the great champion, Sugar Ray Robinson. We still have to refer to Ray as champion because we still can hardly believe it. In that scrap against Turpin, it's scheduled for the Polo Grounds, isn't it, George?
September the 12th.
September the 12th. And is Robbie already in serious training for it?
Not serious training. He's in training, but preliminary training.
Such as?
Well, light road work and so forth and so on, but nothing in the gym as yet.
Just, and in other words, he's not going to do any boxing for a while, but
no,
he's
about 10
worried
days.
about his legs and
Yes.
so forth and so on, getting that wind in shape.
He has to build up a little before he breaks down.
Well, you're the fellow that saw Turpin against Robinson, of course. And is Turpin that real tough guy? Is he going to be a tough man to handle in this rematch?
He definitely will be a tough man. You know, in each fighter's life, there comes a man that he cannot handle. This man may be the man that Robinson can't handle.
A very frank admission from George Gainford, the manager of Sugar Ray Robinson. That's one you don't want to miss, ladies and gentlemen, on the 12th. Say, Rocky Graziano, you told us at the start of the show you weighed about 163. Do you think you've lost any during this show?
I think I did. Watching my pal Jake, I think I did.
Well, you might be done ready for your fighting weight. Is that the next scrap that you have on the docket? Is that September 19th in Detroit?
That's right, with Tony Gennaro.
Well, it's going to be real good to see you out there. Pabst will bring that fight into a lot of homes around the country. And now let's get a final word from George Gainford. We didn't get a chance to discuss the weight of Randy Turpin. About what do you think is his best fighting weight, and what do you think he'll weigh in that night, George?
About 160 pounds.
In other words,
that's the limit, yeah.
Will he have trouble? You build Robinson up,
no,
you
he'll have no trouble.
He'll have no trouble making the 160.
Solid middleweight. Of course, my trouble is building Robinson up to be around 155, 156. I noticed during our training in Europe, Robinson came down to 150 pounds. He's more near the welterweight limit than the middleweight limit.
I see. In other words, the 47 pounds, he might have been able to get down to that, but
sure,
building him up to where he's a big middleweight is a little hard to do. Well, those are problems of a manager. We've had the problems of a manager, the problems of a fighter, and we've seen a great contest tonight, and we certainly hope that you've enjoyed looking in with us, ladies and gentlemen. This is Russ Hodges, along with Rocky Graziano, and George Gainford, saying good night to you all from the Pabst Brewing Company of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.